In Palace, so let's tell you about Palace. Rolling straight to the ceiling, crowns and crystals, top like journeys, dishing out malice. Hold up, South London's grandest, far from bandits. Anything earning for a goal of elevation, just passing the team over here might finish out bright future we can't vanish. It's E25 any day that's sellers. Rev up the engines, no more reverse reactions, fankers, bands on stream. Share up the team, support the dream team when eagles fly, make noise and scheme. Dare to dream or dream to dare, taking a step to become supreme.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Eagle Eye Football. Because it's the international break, we are doing something slightly different. We're going to catch you up on all the youth player loans and maybe talk about some of the youth players who've been playing in the under-21s. As bad as my voice sounds, it doesn't actually hurt, so don't worry about me. But anyways, today I'm joined with Tim. Tim, how are you?
I'm well, man. Very good. Watching, it's funny that the under-21s are playing the Premier League International Cup against Juventus while we're doing this. So we'll have maybe some commentary around while we're talking about this. They almost just had they were in again just a couple minutes ago. So yeah, good stuff, Dan. Looking forward to this.
Yeah, it should be good. I mean, I'm looking at that international cup, and there's like some proper big names in there, isn't there? Like you got Valencia, Juventus, and like you hear those names, and you're like, oh, they must have some good youth academies. And another one we're playing, which I think maybe one that is maybe a bit underrated that people might not know, is Nordsjælland.
Yeah,
and they've got a very very good youth academy. A lot of players, especially from Africa, have kind of gone through there and then ended up playing in some really really good teams in Europe. But yeah, no, absolutely. Anyways, let's have a look at the chat and we'll start talking about some players. Pat's just saying we. Oh well. Oh, this is awkward. What were you the only person here, Pat? Is that why? Big up Rich. Big up the dog. Big up Chairman. Big up Earth. No, they're not new headphones. They're the same ones. And big up Mary.
Yeah, good to see everybody.
So, first things first. Let's talk about the loans that we've got so far. Some good, some maybe not so good.
Too many that are not that good.
Yeah, and I'm going to go in order of what was on Wikipedia. Okay, so to kick us off, maybe a nice one. And we'll talk about as well whether like we think they're going to make it or whatever, or how they fit into our plans in the future. So number one, going to kick us off with a nice one. Owen Goodman. What do you think about Owen Goodman, Tim?
I mean, I really like Owen. He's been getting inconsistent minutes with Huddersfield. It's been a little better recently, but he is, he's a player. And I think if there's a drawback to Owen, by the way, he did get called up by Canada. First time he's gotten called up to the senior team, something he really wanted to do. Which I think is good because the Canadians I'm forgetting his name, but they have an older goalkeeper that they've had for years. So he has a legitimate shot to become the Canada number one in maybe like the next 4 years, I would say, Dan. But he's good. Mm-hmm. The difference between him and another one I know we're going to want to talk about, which is Joe Whitworth, is that I think Joe is more composed and mature than Owen is. Owen is a bit more physically talented as a goalkeeper. And you can see some of that physical talent, but I think he's been dropped a couple times at Huddersfield because some of the things he needs to work on as far as maturity.
No, definitely. And I think one of the reasons why, because I've looked it up, he's played 7 games for Huddersfield this season, which may be a bit less than what you'd expect for an EFL team so far.
Yep.
But I'm pretty sure he got sent off and it was for something a bit mad.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. He did get a straight red, didn't he? I forgot about that. That's you know what? That's a really good point. Yeah.
And I think it's interesting as well, bringing up like that he's got competition from an older goalkeeper in the Canada team, because he's got that exact same thing at Huddersfield as
That's
well.
Huddersfield. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I know Nichols has also played, and he's very experienced. To be fair, like when I had a look at, well, not all of these players, but some of these players, I had a look on Twitter to see what their fans thought of them, and Huddersfield fans seem to definitely rate Goodman.
Yeah. Yeah, they do.
They think he's better than League One, as it stands. But I tell you what, let's talk about, because number 2 is actually Joe Whitworth, and because they're both goalkeepers, I kind of think that's going to play into maybe
Yeah.
the pathways for both of them. So let's move on to Joe, and then we'll talk about them together thereafter.
There you go. Then there's your under 21s goal for another one we'll talk about. But Benji Casey, we'll talk about Benji.
Yes, definitely.
But Benji just scored. Palace 3, Juventus 0.
3. Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. But a word on Joe. Joe is a bit of a strange bird right now, Dan.
Mm-hmm.
He's had some games where it really hasn't gone well. I'm not sure how much of that is on him and how much of it is on Exeter.
Yeah.
But they really rate him at Exeter. They like him. They like him a lot. And I think I know why.
Mm-hmm.
He's composed. He's great on a penalty. He's very good with his feet. His positioning
definitely
is outstanding. Like, he has the only thing that Joe Whitworth is lacking is he's not like 6'4", you know, but his positioning, his attitude,
mm-hmm.
his fire between the sticks. He's a terrific keeper, but he sometimes gets beat, and you wonder if that's because of just his physical frame.
Yeah.
But his positioning is outstanding. I love Joe Whitworth.
Yeah, absolutely the same. And like, yeah, he's already played 17 games this season for Exeter.
I mean, I think they really rate him. I really 100%.
Do. I mean, they must have they liked him so much they got him back. Sorry, for a second season.
Yeah.
And yeah, Exeter fans seem to love him.
Yeah.
There was a funny video the other day, actually. I don't know if you saw it, but the Reading fans are just behind him in the goal. He's in goal, and the Reading fans are just behind him. And then they shout him, going, "Oh, Joe, give us a song, give us a song." He turns around and goes, he says, Whitworth, you're see you next Tuesday. He says, and yeah.
The man cannot be rattled. I love that.
Exactly. He's a Palace season ticket holder, or he used to be. And yeah, and obviously he can take banter. He's just all about it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
yeah,
I completely agree with Alex. It's a shame he's not a couple inches taller. Well,
yeah. But you can, as a keeper,
make all the difference.
You can, I mean, I guess you have to tell me this, Dan, because and anybody who's played keeper in the chat, you know, you tell me, but this is one of those positions where you definitely, your physical attributes really do matter, but you can make up a fair amount of it with excellent positioning. And he does have, this is why I think, this is just a theory here, Dan. This is why I think Joe is so good on penalties. His positioning is just outstanding, and he reads the game quite well. But yeah, if he had just like 2 more inches on him, he'd be well. He might not be at Palace, to be fair, if he had 2 more inches on him.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and I think, I mean, yeah, it's a bit of a shame. But then Speroni wasn't a particularly tall goalkeeper, like you say. Like, his positioning was excellent, and yeah. So comparing them together, I don't really like comparing them, because I feel like they already draw a lot of comparisons already. But looking at their age, they're both 21 years old. Joe Whitworth is slightly older, so he'll be 22 in February,
Yeah.
and then Goodman will be 22 next November. So Goodman's about 9 months younger than him.
Yeah.
But I mean, in terms of like, could they both play for Palace eventually? I mean, at 21 years old, they're already getting goalkeeper experience in League One. I think, theoretically, if they then had, even if they had, say, another League One next season, and then they had Championship the year after that, there'd still only be like, 24, I think, starting or 23 starting their season after, in my opinion. And I think as that goes on, then I think they'll just naturally get better. And for me personally, I'd like to see Dino stay until whenever he wants to leave, and then one of those two, whoever's doing better, would then be the natural successor. That's the pathway I'm envisioning for these two.
I couldn't agree more. I love that. And I think when we talk about the center backs, I think I have similar aspirations in that area as well. But yeah, 100%. And I don't think it's clear. Like Owen is definitely he's got the physical attributes that Joe does not have, but I think that Joe has the intangibles, the skills, the technical ability as a goalkeeper that you just love. He's particularly great, with his feet. He has a modern goalkeeper's skill set, which is impressive. It helps him out a lot. But yeah, two good choices there for sure.
Yeah,
no question.
And this nice sort of run of loan players, everyone's going to notice it started off very well, but it's going to take a massive nosedive very soon. But we'll talk about one that is a bit unfortunate, David Ozo.
Yeah, do you know what happened with his injury on the last weekend? He went off early in his last match for Derby, and he's been unfortunate with injuries.
I don't know specifically what happened. I don't know if they've actually given a timeline for when it'll be, because the last I saw on Twitter was that he they were just kind of wishing him a speedy recovery. That's the last I saw.
Yeah, he went off, and
which is a shame.
It was like the 10th minute. He went off real early.
Yeah.
Oh, and he was in tears when he got subbed. Gosh, I mean, I feel for the kid. I just feel for the kid because he's just been so incredibly unlucky, and he got back to full fitness, and he was playing. He won back the starting spot for Derby. He's playing great.
Mm-hmm.
The fans have really enjoyed him, and to be fair to the Derby fans, they were really backing him.
Yeah,
and the team was really
like him there.
They love him there. That just sucks. It's terrible.
Yeah, it is really bad. Okay, let's say that he manages to come back from it, and let's say the second half of the season, he has a run of injuries. He plays nearly every game. Blah blah blah.
Yep.
Where would you envision him in an Oliver Glasner side?
I would like to see him as maybe the fourth, number 6 off the bench next season. I think he is a natural replacement for Jefferson. I think you could re-sign Jefferson Lerma for an additional season. I think that would be smart business. One more season, and then I would like to see David Ozo take that position because the physical attributes are similar. Ozo is big. When he's at full fitness, he's got pace. He can get in the air. Yeah. He's got a shot on him. Like just what Pat is saying here. Who I didn't. Pat paused. Pat paused me earlier, and that was well done. That was well played. But as I think this is exactly right, Pat. As defensive mid, I think he's perfect for that role. He's just got all of the attributes. So hopefully he gets fit.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Certainly, physically, he's way and above his age.
Yeah, for sure.
it's just it just needs to get over those injuries. And you know what? I think for me, the mark of a good academy is that you might get like one really good player like now and again.
Yeah.
But if you can bolster like your squad with like very decent squad players, then I think that's the mark of a really good academy.
Yep.
And so now we've talked about three nice ones. We're going to talk about some more not so nice ones, perhaps. So number 4 is Jezrin Raksaki. He's 23 years old and he's going to be 24 next October. He started 6 he's in Turkey. I didn't write down the name of his Rizespor. Started 6 of their 10 games since he's been there, but he has scored 4 goals.
Yeah.
For a mid-table team in Turkey. So I'll go first. Personally, I never really rated Raksaki as much.
Really?
No, not really. I thought he was like okay, but I could see him as maybe like a squad player, but I could never see him like being like a replacement for anyone. But
is that what does that come down to? Like what? Because he's clearly got some skill, but why? What is he missing?
it's hard to explain. Like I think when I've seen him play for Palace, I've just never seen. He just hasn't seemed to. I feel like I don't know. I don't really know what it is. I'm trying to like. I don't want to say like he's not brave, but like I feel like he lacked a lot of bravery whenever he's played. I feel like he's never done anything that's maybe sit there and go, oh wait, that was impressive. It's always been quite basic stuff. Like I think he is a good player, but like like I said, I don't think he. To be fair, he did get that injury he got. I can't remember which season it was.
Yeah.
That was kind of like the final.
The one where Roy kept him around and then he got immediately injured.
Yeah, that one. And I think thereafter it was kind of like that's kind of it. And I think that now he's 23 years old. He's not long term 23 to be fair. But like, he's at the age where like he can't really be considered a youth player anymore. And for me personally, I'm hoping that this is like a way to segue him so we can just get a bit of money out of him.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm not sure when his contract expires and whether or not we're going to be able to get any money on a sale here, but I would agree with that. I think the other issue is there's two problems that Jez has right now. The first is he does not fit in a Glasner system.
Yes,
he's a wide player.
Yeah.
He's a wide player. He does not play inside. So that is a problem. The second problem is that he is a winger who likes to plant himself in the offensive area. He does not have that high endurance, high intensity, always tracking back, always making the runs. He's not that guy. He's never been that guy.
Yeah.
He wants to stay in the offensive area and then get on the ball and create. And you can do that. I mean, there are teams that want those kinds of players, but that's not a Palace player.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think, in the right system, he would do well. But yeah, for me personally, I can't see him being a Palace player. I mean, unless we change managers and whatever, then possibly. But
yeah,
right. Number 5, another bit, a bit of a shame. Danny Imre.
I don't know if he's back yet. Is he still injured?
Yeah, he's still injured. So it looked like he got stretchered off on the 30th of September and he's not been, so they had a scan and they thought it was going to be like several months.
Oh, jeez.
But now it looks like it's going to be about a month and a half. So not as bad as thought. But that said, in the few minutes he has played, Blackpool fans did seem to like him, which is always good. So he's going to be 23 next July. I would like to think that one day he could be a squad player, like a backup to Munoz or something.
Yep.
Personally, I feel like that's probably his ceiling for us. I don't know what you think about that, Tim.
I agree, and I think Danny has he has an unfortunate timing problem because we are going to talk about some younger players.
Yes, yeah,
and
yeah,
there are wingbacks coming up through the academy who I think are going to force Glasner to he's going to take a look at those wingbacks, and they're not just the ones we know about, the ones we've seen. There are others too who are at under 18s level.
Yeah,
that makes it really difficult for Danny.
absolutely.
So I like Danny. I personally think he's got a great attitude. I love the way he makes runs. I just loved him as an academy player, but I think his luck may have run out, which is terrible. I mean, football's a brutal business, and he may be on the wrong side of the luck here.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and I think it is a shame. But I think another aspect of a good academy is, we can pick up someone like Danny Imre. I think he played for Chelmsford or someone like that. Someone in non-league.
That's right. Yep.
We can pick him up, develop him a little bit, and maybe sell him for like a couple million. Do you know what I mean? And if you keep doing that, you know, like people like Imre, whilst he may not make it to say like a starter in a Premier League, he can still have a very good use to us.
For sure.
Next one. Now, I never heard of this guy. Abdul Uedreogo. He's been on loan to Beveren for the last season and a half. Do you know anything about him, Tim?
I know nothing about this.
No,
I've never heard of this loan.
I'm not even sure he has played for our under 21, so we'll skip over him. So next one, which has been a massive shame, and this is the source of the thumbnail, thanks to JC, Hindolo Mustafa.
Oh.
So he's currently 19, will be 20 next July.
And he apparently got hurt, right?
Got hurt, hasn't played a single game this season.
Is he still hurt right now?
I think he might be coming back because I know Miroslav Klose has said something about him. Let me try and find it.
Well, while you're doing that, let's just he got absolutely...
He got shafted.
He really got shafted. And this is where I'm not in the business of really hanging Mark Bright out to dry, but there was a comment earlier, like, does Bright handle all of these loans? I don't think he handles all of them, but he is the director of under 21's development. So he talks to a lot of these players and he does try to help them along. But I am mystified, Dan. Like, how do you send a player of Mustafa's talent to Nuremberg, to the German second division? What the hell is going on?
And personally, I feel like it was a bit of a panic one because I think he was injured. I think he was injured like most of pre-season, wasn't he? I think, or maybe I'm
you are right about that. He had that one game in preseason, and he actually gets the assist for a Raksaki goal, and then immediately after he hurt his knee. Yeah. And I guess couldn't get a loan after that. And so he gets sent out to Nuremberg because, I mean, you would have been better if the injury was the issue. Just leave him in the under 21s and try to get a loan in January.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. I completely agree. And not to hang Mark Bright out, but he is the loan manager. So I don't know if he delegates to people, but he is the man. But yeah, I think he was a bit of a panic loan personally. So Miroslav Klose has said I should tell you what. Let me just put it up there rather than me.
Okay. Yep.
Reading it out because. So he said this. Let me zoom in. So he said this.
Are you sharing your screen? I don't see anything on screen yet. Yeah, here we go.
Thank you. He is something I like. That's why I'll support him, always up to a certain point. But we brought him in because he has to perform here. It's not like in London where he can walk through the city and go shopping. Maybe it's a little different in Nuremberg. So it suggests that he's maybe a bit homesick as well.
Yeah.
which is another question to raise. It's like, why would you send a 19-year-old sort of like at a drop of a hat to another country? Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, if he's not ready for it.
like I mean, let's be real. I know nothing about these things, but like, I kind of feel like I would rather send him to somewhere that is maybe below his level and at least allow him to like build confidence
Right.
than to just panic loan something that I think might be his level. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, he would have been perfect. I am certain, Dan, that you could have found a League One team. So, like, because I think
Yeah.
I think he's better than League One, but you could have put him in a League One team. He could have been out there and he could have had moments where he's absolutely dominating, gaining confidence, building up strength, and then also getting, kind of introduced to the dressing room dynamics of men's football and learning. Like you get a little bit of learning to mature while you can show your talent out on the pitch. It's just this is the one that I'm most annoyed about.
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely, and yeah, shame. Right, number 8 is probably one that will be quite quick. Victor Akinwale.
Yeah, this one's a shame too.
Yeah, he's 21, but he's playing non-league football at 21. Like,
Yeah,
it's a shame because like back in the day, he was always Victor Akinwale is a name that I associate with our youth team.
Yep. Yeah. I read this morning, something like, it might have been 2021. He had 27 goals.
Wow,
Like,
really?
yeah.
Damn.
Like, I mean, he has absolutely disappeared. That one is a real shame for sure.
Yeah. No, definitely. And then the final one who's gone out on loan is Jemiah Imolu. He's gone to Bromley. Yeah, he's played 59 minutes so far this season, but he does have a goal. So
he does have a goal.
Technically, he's averaging a goal every 1.3 games. But yeah, he's another one. I don't think he'll make it at Palace, unfortunately. But again, players like this still serve a purpose to Palace. If we can sell him for a fee to like a League One side or something, then that's good. That's good for both parties. Do you know what I mean? So
right. These are those where you take a small fee, you write a larger than average sell on.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
it almost becomes like a lottery ticket.
Yeah.
Like if it hits, then you are getting something for it. Oh man, Pat is triggering me here on David Omalabu. There's another one. Yeah, I mean we've had that, but there are. So we should talk about the more promising ones because there's
definitely
some real promise down in the under 18s. Now the question is, are they going to come through the academy or are they going to go through to the loan system? But who do you want to go with?
So I've got now. This is all the minutes of the under 21 so far. So that will include some of the more promising under 18s.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, we have. So since we started talking about the under 18s, we have Drake Thomas.
Yeah, Joel Drake Thomas. Yep.
KC, Benamar. Jasper Judd is young, but I did not know who he was. You got Matteo Dashi, and he's probably a bit too old, David Obu, but
Obu is coming back from an injury, but he is one that is rated incredibly highly for his technical skill.
Yeah. Okay. So of those highlighted players, I know let's talk about Ben Casey because I know he was one that you mentioned.
I'll tell you what, Ben Casey has a shot. Now he has to get bigger. He needs to get taller. He needs to bulk up a little bit. But Ben Casey can play in the Premier League. I fully believe that. I think he's got the tools for it. And he does two things that I think make him perfect for a Premier League side, hopefully ours.
Mm-hmm.
He does use his body incredibly well to hold up the ball. Just at his level, he is outstanding at holding up the ball and learning to link up the play. He
Yeah.
gets this intuitively that you have to be a force multiplier on the pitch. What I mean by a force multiplier is your presence on the pitch makes other players better. He is that player. He's got that JP quality about him. The hold up and link up play is very good. He would not be able to do that right now at Premier League level. He's not big enough yet. So he's got to bulk up a little bit. But that's a quality of his that is great. The other is he is the best at the under 18s level, and I think arguably even at the under 21s level, at making the runs in behind.
Okay.
He's
nice.
very good at running off the shoulder, timing his runs and making the run in behind. So if you can imagine this, he is at his ideal if he does all the things and gets, all the help he needs and grows into this role. He can do the things that JP does, the hold up and the link up play, and the thing that Eddie does really well with making those darting runs in behind and getting into space.
Yeah.
He's outstanding. Of all of the attackers, even more so than Zach Marsh, I think Ben Casey I want to see him in the first team.
Definitely. Would you say would you say he's like the mold of like a Glasner sort of striker?
He's not yet tall enough and strong enough to do it, but he's got, you can see that he is getting, he's filling out, he's getting bigger. So you would think that he has that potential. I think he does. But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, we've had these sort of promising things before. Probably the player who looks like the prototypical Glasner striker in the academy is David Angibo, who is very tall, very big, and has
the under 18s.
He has two good feet, but also very raw. Casey is far above him. But in terms of physical tools, David Angibo has got the physical tools.
Yeah, nice. Okay, well, that sounds great. And also, I think another point to make, since we are talking about youth players, is that when was our academy actually opened? It was 2021, wasn't it?
That's when we went to Category 1, right? So I think that was the beginning of Category 1, and the reason the under 18s are probably, I think, a little like the loans we've had, I think are a bit more reflective of our prior Category 2 status. The under 18s might be the first class where you start to see like real genuine Category 1 loans like into the championship. Like I don't think it would be surprising, let's say this, and we can get to him when you want, but like Joel Drakes Thomas or Seb Williams, it would be a surprise if he went out on loan. Either one of them went out on loan at lower than League One, and more like championship. You would think for both of those two, they are terrific players.
Nice. And since we're on them as well, they say I don't know huge amounts about. I know the names, but I don't know huge amounts about them. So like, what kind of like, say like in a Glasner system, where would they play? Do you think?
So Williams would probably play as a 10. I would think. He could also play as a more advanced 8. I think. Quite skilled. He's very good with his feet. He also has good physical attributes. Alex is pointing this out, that he's a very versatile player. I think that's right. I think Alex has that right. He is a little bit under the radar. I don't think he's under the radar for this team, though. He moved up from under 18s level. He was like under 18s captain and moved up to under 21s, and he's quite good. He's got good feet. He's got good skill, and he is versatile. Drakes Thomas is a real star in the making. He's only 16.
That's so crazy.
It's
The guy was born in 2009.
I know it's outrageous, and he already is. He's growing very quickly. He's got good physical stature.
Yeah.
He's got outstanding pace. He's playing with I believe, England under-17s during this international break. He plays as a natural right winger, but he's been used, we said before, like the right wing backs. If Drake Thomas gets deployed as a right wing back, say goodbye to Danny Imre. Like that's like that's what I mean. Like he is a tremendous talent. And they really rate him in the academy. And when you see him play and you see his pace down the right, he's very good at delivering a pass. He's also very good at keeping the ball and forcing his way into an area so he can deliver a pass like a cutback ball to the striker running into the area. He's really excellent. He is a player that keeps the width extremely, extremely well, but he's not there to play the 10. He's either natural winger or a wing back.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. He's so young. Because I always find it very interesting when players make the step up from the 18s to the 21s. It's almost like it's a completely different level. Because like there's some players who I remember like years ago who would like be really good in the under 18s. Like Omalabi was a fantastic example of this.
Yeah.
Very good in the under 18s. Then went up to the under 21s, couldn't handle the physicality. Right. So if you're seeing these players like a Drake Thomas do it at under 18 when he's not even 16 and a half.
He was 15. He was 15 when he was in the under 18s, and he was dominating at under 18s level.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah. He was impressive.
That's crazy.
But let's keep going. Yeah.
Yeah, let's have a look at some of maybe the other young players who look like they made the step up. So you got Fasida, who's also very young. George
left wing back.
And Jasper Judd. So Fasida's a left wing back.
Okay. Yes. Yeah, he's a left wing back. Judd is also a left wing back.
Okay.
So I really rate Jasper Judd. I rate both of them.
Yeah.
I rate both of them. Judd, though, is the captain of the under 18s team.
Okay.
He's very young. He was in that Floodlit Cup winning team. He's pacey. He gets in behind. He runs really well. He's got a great. If you haven't seen it, Judd has. Which game was it? It was. I think it was a. Was it a? I don't remember what it was. It was like 3 or 4 weeks ago. But there is a game where Judd comes in on his left foot and he hits it. He just gets in right at the top of the box and hits it top bins in the far corner. Just an outstanding finish. So he's got a shot on him. He's a fiery player. He brings a lot of energy to the side, so he gets into a tackle. He's beloved on that team. A natural captain. I think there's a lot to like about him. Fasida has a slightly more physical tools. He also gets forward. Yeah. But I think where Fasida stands out is he wins his tackles.
Right. Okay.
So he's very good at that. He's very good at, defensively, he's excellent. I wouldn't say he's Tyreek Mitchell, but he's got a little bit of, defensive quality that I think is you like to see that. But he is a player that'll also get forward. But we have a lot of talent on both sides of the pitch for as far as the wingbacks go.
Yeah. Oh, that's excellent to know. Who knows? One day we'll have Drake Thomas on the right and then one of Fasida or Judd on the left hand side. So
it'd be great.
That would be fantastic. Players that obviously have come through just quickly. Obviously, Cardine has come through. Already has international experience with Trinidad and Tobago. And then there's actually, let's talk about Agbenone is an interesting one because obviously he went on loan to Gillingham last season, but it didn't really work
And
out.
that did not work out. Yeah.
No.
I mean, I'd be curious what you think of him. I've mentioned this before. Asher is a tremendous talent. He's really good. He can dribble into the area and he can beat players. He's terrific one-on-one. He beats players.
Yeah.
I am not sure he plays well in a Glasner system. And for the under and for the under 21s, he ends up getting on the ball and just wanting to take players on and find his shot at the top of the box. And he just keeps waiting for it.
Yeah.
And we're a team that likes to play one-touch football. He does not, at least not as often as I'd like. I don't see him playing one-touch football that much. So his talent gets a little bit buried inside the Palace system because he doesn't play with players. He plays to try to create for himself.
Right.
And that, I don't know. I think that holds him back, Dan.
Yeah, no, I do get what you mean because obviously a lot of like the Glasser sort of system is very much like the team is very much more than the sum of its parts. I do wonder, like, because I know like, sometimes we do like struggle, particularly against teams that sit deep. I mean, to be fair, most teams do, but maybe someone like an Agbenone would. I'm not saying like he would start now by any means of the imagination, or would be a squad player now, but like someone who is a bit maverick, who is a bit like, like, you know, when the team's not coming up with ideas, maybe that would be good. But I wonder if he's just because I thought he's pretty decent when he came on against Nottingham Forest, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I don't know, has he just lost confidence or I don't know?
He scores great goals. Like, this is the thing. What's so frustrating about him is he can really, he's got a shot on him. He can really score a great goal, but he has just another point. I forgot to mention this on Facita. Like, Agbenone fits in he just does one thing and he does it really well.
Yeah.
Another thing about Facita that I should have mentioned, but forgot, Facita also fits in the midfield. So he's another versatile player like Seb Williams.
Yeah.
And we need that coming out of our academy. We need players who can slot into multiple positions. And one of the things that really has made Facita stand out for me is that he can do a job for the manager wherever the manager chooses to deploy him. And I don't think Agbenone really does that. But having said that, he's got bags and bags of talent. If he becomes a player that like is able to play off of his teammates and create space for his teammates as well as himself, he'll have a real shout to go far with this team.
Absolutely. So yeah. Okay, let's move on to. I've got two players here: Mofi Jemede and Caden Rodney. So Jemede, I feel like these are slightly different, but Caden Rodney I find is such an interesting one because normally I would say if you're not playing senior football, like if you're not being sent out on loan or you're not even being included in squads, you're probably not going to make it. But he's just turned 21. But like I feel like Rodney is always like he's never been sent out on loan, but he does seem to like hover around like you know if we do have some injuries, he will always be in the squad. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So I find it so interesting. I don't really know what to make of him really.
I mean, I think he's another one who is. I think he's the best of the holding midfielders in the under 18s or under 21s level. And I don't think it's really all that close. He's very good on the ball.
Mm-hmm.
He's head up. He plays really well. It's clear that Glasner rates him. There was a terrible under 21s game. I think it was, you know what it was? It was Stoke. We're losing 2-1 to Stoke, and we get a penalty really late, and it's Rodney that steps up. And man, he went full Justin Devaney. He smashed it into the top corner, get the point, and it was very confident. It was a hugely confident penalty take. The kid he's clearly got something about him. And it must be that when he goes out and trains, or when he goes out, it must be that he's got that quality where the manager, both at under 21s level and, for the first team, the manager says, I can trust that guy. Like, he has that kind of vibe to him.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think, I just find it so interesting that and also I know, again, like, he's another versatile one as well, because I know he has played right back in the past in like a back four.
Right.
So I'm guessing he can also play somewhere else. I'm sure he can play like somewhere in the back line as well.
Yeah, he can deputize a bunch of different places. So yeah, I mean, it's nice to have that. He's clearly got something. Do you want to talk about Mofi?
Yeah. So I think
he's another one who is way younger than you would think.
Literally just turned 19 years old. So happy birthday, Mofi.
Yeah. But he's big. I mean, he's another one. He's got David Ozo vibes. He's just a really big guy. And he's playing in this game, and he's got obvious talent. He's got a natural left foot. He's got a good left foot.
That's good. That's good to know.
Yeah, he plays through the lines. He's good at playing through the lines. And but he plays like a young player.
Yeah.
He will make mistakes. He'll lose his head, from time to time. So he plays like a young player, but he's got obvious physical attributes. He's probably, I don't know, I guess like 3 years away. But you could easily see him going on a championship loan. Easily.
Yeah. Be interested to see what happens, because again, he's another one I think he's kind of been a victim of, like, he's been quite light, so therefore he's been quite close to the squad. That's probably why they didn't loan him out. And I think it'd be interesting to see what happens in January, whether they do maybe give him just like a 6-month loan or something.
I don't know. I mean,
possibly
the way that these under 21 schedules are like now, like you have what we're seeing now, the International Cup, where you're playing against big world academies. Like, that's different. You also have the Virtu Trophy at I think that's under 18. Is it? No, it's under 21's level, where you're playing against League 2 teams. The academies play the League 2 teams for that trophy. That's good. You get a little bit of like men's football. Usually the academies get rinsed because you're playing against men. But it is good experience. But we'll see. I don't think he's that far away. And so here's the hope. We were talking about the keepers. Djemide, you hope, gets you depth that you don't have to go spending a boatload of money to reload in the center back department. Yeah,
absolutely. And I want to highlight Alex's comment about like Canvo coming in. Does that mean he's not considered for the squad? I don't think so. I think
I don't think so either.
I think at the end of the day, ideally you want as much depth as possible, really. And someone like, and that's why you want your academy players, because they got something to prove. They give you depth, and if they're good enough, like, they give you depth,
right?
And ultimately, let's say Canvo becomes unbelievable, which I'm sure he will. And then, someone comes in with like a £90 million bid or something stupid like that. Then, you're going to sell that player, aren't you? And then, if you've got a very good academy, you can pick players to either maybe take their place or, again, just provide that depth that you've inevitably just lost.
Yeah.
So I definitely wouldn't rule that out. But then But it is a fair point. Like, obviously, if you do bring in young players, like you probably do have other young players that you brought for the academy being like, what's actually my pathway here?
Right.
And I think like pathways like that are maybe more obvious with, say, someone like Ben Casey, who's a striker. Do you know what I mean? Or like a
Yep.
Drake Thomas, who is a right wing back.
Right.
Whereas
Yeah.
like someone like Jemade, like, you know, we got 3 centre back positions. You know, which one is he going to evolve into? Do you know what I mean? So
Right.
I think with that, and also again, we play with one striker, we play with one right wing back. Do you know what I mean? There's an obvious succession plan, or not an
Yep.
obvious succession plan, but like there's an obvious succession thing there. And even then, yeah, but then like with like centre back, okay, yeah, that's fine, but then you still need, like, we've got 3 centre back positions. You're still going to need a decent amount of backup anyway.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, you want to have in a 3 center back system, you would like to have 6 center backs. You would like to have a second 3. And as of right now, you have JD has obviously proved himself as an option. So you have your first 3, then you have JD, hopefully you get Chatty back, and then you have Jefferson Lerma.
Yeah.
There is a scenario where, let's say, Lerma goes at, like, we re-sign him for 1 year, then he's gone. Well, then Mofi is, hopefully by that point, he's the 6th center back, and that is, I think that's reasonable. Like,
exactly.
Yeah, he's got the physical tools to do it. But you know, I think he's the definition of a player that needs a good loan. He needs a good season-long loan, and I would prefer it to be a championship level.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's hope he's lucky with injuries, unlike some of the other
seriously.
players.
Seriously. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, but that's. Was there anyone else you wanted to bring up, Tim?
Well, how about Zach Marsh? Let's just quickly hit on Zach Marsh. We could hit on the other. I'll give a quick word about George King and Luke Brown, who I think are both quite good at center back. We have a lot of depth at center back level. Yeah. They're a little bit further along playing in under 21s level. Charlie Walker Smith at under 18s level, terrific. Yeah. So there's good depth, you know. So even if Mofi does not make it, I think Charlie Walker Smith is going to be an absolute beast at some point. Yeah. Nice. And I also like Brown and King. Walker Smith plays like Mark. He plays like Mark. Nice. So that's really good. But Zach is, I think, very underrated. Zach is he's more like Eddie. He runs into space, but what is great about Zach is that he's been deputized in multiple roles. Remember the last season, we had Mola, we had Ola Adebayomi.
Yes.
And so he was the main striker, and Zach got moved back into a 10 position to play right behind Mola and feed him the ball. And you know what? He did great in that role. He was very, very good in that role. He's very good at running into space, and he can hit it with either foot. He scores goals with either foot, but he's not a big guy. But for a smaller guy, he's a little bit like Eddie. He's not afraid to be physical. He can mix it up a little bit, and you can't just push him off the ball all that easily. But he does not have the stature of a Glasner player.
Yeah.
But he's very versatile. I think he's already proven he can play the 10. He's already proven he can play in the striker. So I hope he doesn't have bad luck in that he doesn't just get enough of a chance. That's the only thing I worry about with him, Dan.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, he was another one, like, scored loads of goals at under 18s. You make the step up from under 18s to under 21s, and you're like, okay, are they going to replicate that kind of form? And I mean, you can see there 5 goals in 8 starts.
Yeah.
So I think he's definitely getting there.
Yeah, and he scores those with either foot. So he does get himself into positions. He's probably one of the smarter players, offensive players in that under 21s unit. And I think he benefits massively by having Casey out there as well.
Yeah.
Ben Casey making runs and Zach Marsh running with them, maybe running right behind him, and vice versa. That's a great little combo. I like that. I like that setup. But yeah, I rate Zach Marsh. I think that was a heck of a buy. He came out of the Watford Academy.
Yeah, he did.
Bought him
Yeah.
for it wasn't a big fee. So he's another one, like you said. If it doesn't work out, you could easily see us selling him for $1.5 million.
Yeah.
Nice sell on fee, and hopefully he gets a great career somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree. I'll just go through a couple of comments, and then there was one last thing to talk about.
Okay.
And it was it's to do with Glasner.
All right.
Big up Ian, hope you're all good. Big up Seki, hope you're good too. And then we got here's some really old names. Here we go. Obalabu, John Bostock, Brandon Pierrick.
Trigger warning there.
Yeah, Freddie Ladapo.
Oh.
Yeah, some very, very, very old school ones there. And yeah, Mary, I completely agree. Obviously, when we win the Conference League, we're going to have another big squad next season for Europa, and then one for the Champions League after that.
There you go.
Yeah. And yeah, young players need to see a potential route to the first team. It's not easy though. Yeah, I completely agree. They need to see that there's a route. They need to be given the confidence to get there. And I mean, obviously, then they need to then put in the work to put together as well.
Yeah.
Right. So the final thing, and before I put my spreadsheet on the screen, and that's
okay.
That's not a euphemism. Does Oliver Glasner trust in youth?
I think so.
Can people put their thoughts in the comments, please?
Yeah, I would. I want to hear what the chat says, because I think he's getting a little bit of a bad rap because of Esse and Uche. I think that's what's happening here.
Yes, I agree. And also the reason why I want people to put it in chat is because me and Tim agree. So I want to hear some opposing opinions.
Yeah, and I guess that's the thing. Like if I were to play devil's advocate here, I think a good opposing opinion that is, I think, justifiable is that how can you expect Esse and Uche to become regular contributors at first team level if they don't get the minutes to do it? Like there's only so much development you can get on the training pitch. You must be able to get minutes out there in first team. And what we just saw this past weekend, where JD Canvo did 90 against the Seaweed and was brilliant in doing so. That's what we need to see. So yeah, get your comments in here, because I want to hear what people think about this as far as Glasner is concerned.
Right. So So this is my spreadsheet. Is that visible? Is that like reasonably visible?
Yeah. Let me make the screen on my end a little bit bigger. Yeah, I can see it. Yep.
Is that reasonable? Okay.
Yes.
Cool. So this is Glasner's. I'm gonna have to zoom out just a little bit. This is Glasner's record, let's say, of giving youth players debut time.
Okay. Yep.
So I've got the number of under 23 minutes. Okay. The number of debuts given that season to under 23 players, and what the percentage of the total possible time is. Okay. Now, this is the interesting one. So last season, it was a bit of a stinker in that respect. He only gave 5.92% of minutes to players who at the beginning of the season were 23 and under. And he gave, whilst we're here, he gave 5 debuts to under 23 players: Riyadh, Deveni, Esse, Kapoor, and Agbonoh. Actually, Kapoor is someone we didn't talk about, but I feel like he's already kind of broken out, but because of his injuries, he hasn't played more.
Right.
But this season, he has given 14% of minutes to players who are 23 and under at the beginning of the season. Now, to be fair, And then you look at his previous records, right? In his second season at Frankfurt, he gave 40% of possible minutes to. So I
That's
think,
impressive, man.
yeah, I think the numbers. I agree with I agree with Mary's comment. Where is it? Yes, if they're good enough, and also yes, and also with Elio's comment, completely agree. He has high standards and expectations. If they're good enough,
Yes.
they will play. Like, for example, like you look like since he's come here, well, since the beginning of last season, he's given 9 debuts to players under 23. He wouldn't if he didn't trust in youth. I feel like he wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
But he's given it to Riyad Deveni, S.A. Kaporha, Agbenone, Pino, Uche, Cardines, and Camvo.
Yep.
Granted, I think you can make the argument should SA and Uche maybe have played more, perhaps. But I feel like SA can be caveated by the fact that we weren't actually going to get him until the summer. We just got him in January to get him early, to get ahead of the competition. And to be fair, I think he should have probably gone back on loan to Millwall for the season.
Yeah.
That's
probably right.
But yeah, and I mean, like you look at the amount of minutes he's given players. Okay, Pino, yes, he was like a headline signing, so you expect him to have minutes.
Right.
Like Pino's like just over 1 game off getting 1,000 minutes already.
Yep.
Wharton's 1 game off getting 1,000. Okay, you'd expect him to play. But to be fair, like Deveni's already got 282 minutes. Camvo's already got 360 minutes. And to be honest, Uche's already got 103 minutes. Like by the time, let's say we're a quarter of the way through the season, you probably expect him to get like 500 if you keep doing the same amount. But I expect him to get more.
Yeah.
So yeah, personally, I don't agree. Like I personally don't agree that he doesn't give youth a chance. Could he have rotated a bit more, perhaps? But again, like you look at the places where we actually do have depth, like centre back and like midfield. He does rotate when that happens. So I think at the moment he just doesn't trust Uche and SA enough to have them play.
To have them start. I think the issue we're conflating 2 issues here. We're conflating a Glasner doesn't trust youth issue with our attack isn't deep enough issue.
Yes,
and our attack, that is factual. Our attack is not deep enough. That is factually correct.
Yeah.
I think Glasner has also recognized that. He said it. He said we need 1 to 2 in January. But I think Alex's comment is spot on.
I was about to put that up. Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah. If Canvo was in the doghouse after Larnaca, that would be a worry. That would be like, then it would be a big problem. But no, that is not what happened. In fact, he got him right back out for the Liverpool game, and he played quite well during the Liverpool game. And then he was, he even put him at right wing back to give a little bit of relief to Munoz. So clearly, if you train well, if you've got the right attitude, if the manager can see that you're doing the things that he needs you to do, he's going to play you. He's going to play you.
I totally agree. And to be honest, like even historically, since I could get figures for this at the beginning of the 17-18 season, historically, we've never been very good at giving youth players a chance.
Right.
The only time we did was when we had that mad summer where we bought Eze, Elise, Mark, basically loads of young players to kind of fill a new generation of Palace because we needed to buy loads of.
We needed to refresh. Had the oldest side in the league and had to readjust. Absolutely.
Like you look at the Roy years before that. I mean,
very lean. Yep.
Exactly. So over 4 seasons, what's that? 2, 4, 7 debuts were given to Palace players, so not including the loans. So, and then you look over the past 2, we've given 9 players. Okay, they might not have been through the academy, but they're 9 players nonetheless, young players who have been given a debut by Oliver Glasner.
Yeah, but and not not exclusively outside of the academy. Like I know that Justin Devaney did come in from Scotland, and
Yes.
he was promoted from the academy, but he's not like a pure academy player. But still,
No, yeah.
he was signed to the academy, and he was brought up to be an additional squad player, and he has become indispensable. Absolutely. And look, there's going to come a point where what is it? Juventus just scored. That I think it was 150,000 pounds that he was bought for. Or maybe it might have been 500,000. I'm not entirely sure, but somewhere in there's going to be a point where we might have a chance to sell Justin Devaney for like 5-6 million pounds, and it is going to be wildly profitable. So like there's been some really excellent business done through the academy while we're also trying to get players up through the academy. But Kapora was a kid and came up through the academy, and he got his start. So
it's who gave it to him? Was it Glasner? Was
Kapora?
that
Yeah, it was. It was.
Yeah. Sorry,
but it was Patrick Vieira who gave David Ozo his debut at 17.
Yeah,
like it's not like we haven't done it, but Glasner is definitely he is definitely one of those that is more open to giving youth a chance. But I think the comments about how you have to prove it, and you really have to prove it in training, are important. I want to ask you this question, and the chat this question. How much is Esse hurting himself by going off immediately after matches and not clapping the fans? Is that really hurting him, do you think, Dan?
I think he's just frustrated, to be honest.
I mean, is that just something that the manager will say, like, I kind of get that, and I'm not gonna punish him for that, or is that one that just really hurts you if you are a player because the other players notice?
I feel like if it was a massive problem, I feel like someone at the club probably would have had a word with him, and I think he would have just done it just to do it.
Okay, fair enough.
But I don't know. It's always hard to say, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Thing is, like these, even like I don't want to say low level, but like even like someone like Esse, who's only played a very, very tiny part of a Premier League campaign, like they're so hyper focused on like their success and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. That like it's always really hard to read.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah. Was there anything else you wanted to add, Tim?
I'll just say, if we could, if you had to pick, 1 to 2 players that you think from the academy that are coming through in the next couple of years, who would it be? And I'll give you time to think. Top of my list would have been Hindalo Mustafa. Now I'm not sure because he's been isolated, but I'm going to make him one of my picks, but I think he's the second. The other for me is I do think Danny Munoz is going to go at some point, and I think that Rio Cardines is going to have a real shot to establish himself at right wing back in the next 2 to 3 years.
Nice. Nice. I'm going to go with, and I'm going to be really optimistic, I'm going to say David Ozo.
Okay.
Because I think if the injuries subside, I think he could be a really good player.
I do too.
And I am going to go for who's always really impressed me. I'm going to go for. It's a shame because I do want to say Kapora, but again, it's his injuries.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Jemade because actually I think he whenever I've seen him, I haven't seen like I'm not going to lie, like I haven't seen much of the under 21s, but when I have watched under 21s, he's playing. He's always stood out for me. And even when like he's played for Palace, like, you know, in like the mid-season or pre-season friendlies, like I've always thought like, you know what, he doesn't look out of place, which is the main thing.
And he's good with his feet. So if he learns and he gets better and mature as well, he could be an absolute stalwart. He could be a real standout for sure.
Absolutely. Anyways, thank you everyone for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this stream. Thank you very much, Tim, for all your knowledge, because I would have been absolutely like.
I watch a lot of academy football. I watch a lot of academy football, but it's fun. Like, this is one of the things I love about our team is that, I mean, I think more than most other teams, we are a club that does a really good job of finding and developing talent, and then it's fun. I think it doesn't. You have to, sort of train yourself to not go crazy about this, but we develop another Palace gem, and this is going to happen with JD Canvo, by the way. And then all of a sudden, all the press is going to be about, well, where's he going to go? Because he's not staying at Palace. You kind of have to get used to that and just like take it as a compliment. Yeah. We are a club that is developing talent that other clubs are jealous of. So suck it. We're developing that talent, and I think it's great. So yeah,
I completely agree, and I'm excited for seeing the academy like in a few years' time as well. Like when from when kids join at about 6 or 8, I can't remember how young it is, and then like they come to like 17 years old, so they would have had like 9 or 11 years worth of Category 1 experience. See what comes out then, because let's be real, South London is a massive resource, and okay, Charlton's academy is pretty decent. Mills is okay. I know Chelsea hoover up a lot of the South London talent as well. But if we can really get even like 10% of it, do you know what I mean? We're gonna do very, very well.
Yeah, for sure. And you have kids who are in South London now that have seen this team compete at the highest level.
Yeah,
won trophies at the highest level.
Yeah,
and that changes things. Suddenly, you're gonna have football talent who are like, I don't necessarily need to go to Chelsea or to Arsenal. My local club is doing pretty well here.
Exactly.
That does change things.
Exactly. It's a prestige. It's the new facilities as well are a massive draw. And then seeing players, okay, not academy players as of yet, but like, seeing players like Wharton come to us. Well, loads of players come to us, like Michael Olise's being, nominated for a Ballon d'Or. So on and so forth. Do you know what I mean? It shows that if you are good enough and you wanna go for it, we will try and give you the tools. Although maybe a better loan manager.
Yeah, poor Mark Bright. I mean, it just. But to be fair to him, he's trying, and he does. I think if you could just like take the loans away from him, but let him do like what he's doing, like Ben Casey has said, like he's gone to Brighty for advice. Like that's great. Go to like a great historical Palace legend who's a great goal scorer. Absolutely. Go to that guy for advice.
100%.
Maybe don't ask him to manage loans.
Yeah, bless him. Anyways, thank you all very much for watching. Appreciate all the views, all the subs, all the comments, etc. And I hope you have a good rest of the day. Enjoy the international break if you can, and we'll see you we'll see you soon. Guys, up the Palace.
Up the Palace.
Eagles.